Okay, guys, I just wanted to show you how to play the iCivics game, give you a little bit of strategy, and just kind of let you understand how the game works if you had any questions. So the first thing you want to do is go to Google Classroom. When the Whitehouse game, that was the last thing I posted. So if you click on the link, it'll bring you to the iCivics website. Click on Play Full Screen, and then you'll get a pop-up. Make the game bigger. And then begin. So the game really has two parts. You're going to create a character, and this character is going to be a nominee running for president. So you start off with the primaries. The primaries, you compete against people in your own party. So you're going to choose either Republican or Democratic Party. That's what you're going to do right now. Now, both parties care about different issues, and we haven't gone over that yet. That's something we're going to get to a little bit later. But if you know a little bit about each party, or really it doesn't matter, you pick a party and play with their issues. So we're going to go to high school. Continue. Anna is your campaign manager. She gives you advice during the game, kind of directs you on what to do. So the first part, we're going to make a character. We'll just pick anybody at random. This guy looks all right. First name, Mr. Last name, Bielik. Now, you guys could use whatever name you want because when you submit your score in Google Classroom, I'll know who turned it in. So if you want to use a nickname, that's fine. Choose your home state. You don't have to choose Ohio, but I'm going to. So then we're going to pick the issues. So again, you could be a Democrat or you could be a Republican. It doesn't matter. So for the sake of this video, I'll be a Republican. And here are the issues, excuse me, that the Republican Party cares about. And you could preview each issue. So gun rights, expanded competition, healthcare, ending the opioid crisis, job creation, limited government, school choice, prevent election fraud, protection of unborn lives, securing the border, peace through strength, and business innovation. So you begin in the primary. So we need to win the party's primary election. So what you do, this is the debate portion. So you're going to pick issues. Now I want to do good, so I'm going to select these hot issues. So these are popular among voters. So I'm going to pick these ones to get more people to vote for me. So I'll start off with the first one, lower taxes. We should lower taxes so citizens can keep more of what they earn and choose to save, spend, or invest as they see fit. So then I'm going to present the issue. Now you're going to choose the best argument for the issue. So why should we lower taxes? We work hard for our money and deserve to keep most of it rather than paying a lot of taxes. Every voter must have their eyes scanned before voting. I know there's a ton of money getting printed every day. If we need more money, we can just print it. So the only argument that makes any sense is this one. So we're going to choose this one. Click continue. What's your plan? So get into it again. Which plan is best? Taxes should be collected twice a year, so it seems like you have to pay less. I believe we should lower income taxes and let the American people spend that money. The best plan of action is just to give all of our tax money to new companies to help them succeed. Seems like the best answer to me. And go on. So I'm going to select the other hot button issue. Peace through strength. It has to do with the military, building up the military. And I advise you guys, before you get into it, read through the issues and find out where you really stand and play from there. So what's the best reason for having a big military? We can grow our military strength by adding way more robots. Let's replace all soldiers with robots. The government should really step in to stop brothers and sisters from terrorizing each other. So annoying. It doesn't have anything to do with the military. Or keeping our military well trained, properly equipped, and up to date is what sets us apart from the rest of the world. That's obviously the best answer. And that's what I'm going to choose. Goes to the second part. How would you support the issue? We really don't need the military if we just talked about our problems more with other countries. Why do we have borders anyway? There are only lines on a map. Or I want to increase government spending on the military by 20% in the first term. Bigger, better, and stronger. So there's a couple different ones you could use here. I think this one's going to be the most popular with the voters, so I'm going to choose this. Even though a lot of the voters might not want to support government spending, Republican voters tend to like government spending when it comes to the military. That might work. Select an issue. So, job creation, limited government. We'll go with ending the opioid crisis. I support ending the opioid crisis in America. This is the only one that has to do with the opioid crisis. We're going to pick another issue. Expanding competition in healthcare, prevent election fraud, protection of unborn lives, securing the border, business innovation, global independence, or fight terrorism abroad. Let's go fight terrorism. So as you can see, you can play this game a bunch of different times. You don't have to, you just have to play once, but you would get different issues and see different sides of the issue. And again, since we're on the primary, we're only seeing one side of the issue here. Why do you want to support this issue? Fighting terrorism abroad. This is obviously the best answer. But you can't even argue with it. So now you have a chance to go with a maverick issue. So this is by picking an issue that's popular with the other party, in this case the Democratic Party. And it's a good idea to do this because when you get to the general election, you're going to try to sway some Democrats to vote with you. So I'm going to do this. Review some maverick issues. Issues normally that Democrats care about. Immigration reform, voting rights, campaign finance, women's reproductive rights, global cooperation, pollution standards, federal funding for education, preventing gun violence, climate change, care for poor and needy, LGBTQ plus rights, equal access to healthcare, retirement security, or cleaner energy. So this one I'm going to go with climate change. And it tells you about climate change, so obviously you want to read through that. And then you're going to pick the best arguments like we've been doing. I want a healthy planet for all of us, our grandchildren and their grandchildren. And that sounds like the best argument to this crowd, so that's the one I'm going to use. Debate results, and I did good. Alright, so now it's time to go to the campaign kit. So for the win, I can see the future. Have you seen the competition? I like that one because it's funny. And there's my campaign kit. So you don't have to print out the kit. Just continue from here. Now it's time for the regular campaign. So we're not going to use the primaries as a tutorial because I'm going to do the tutorial right here with you. But if you're still not sure and you want to do the primaries first, probably a good idea. The first time I played the game, it took me a couple rounds to kind of get what they were asking for. But I'll show you guys here so you don't have to guess. So like we talked about before, this is a map of the United States. And we don't have information for many of these states. We see that Michigan is red, so Michigan is Republican, red for Republican, and New Hampshire is purple, which means it could go Democrat or Republican. So to win the nomination as presidential candidate, you must first win a few key states. Take a look at our electoral votes you can get from each primary in the state. So you need 270 electoral votes to win. So I know that the big states are like Texas, California, New York, Ohio's a big one too. So, and this shows you each state's electoral count polling. Choose a state. We'll say Iowa. And the polling tells you a bunch of different things. So the issues they support, the issues that they don't support, like ending the opioid crisis, pollution, and limited government. And it's 60% Republican. Now I could always see polling data from that state. Again, the issues they like, the issues they oppose. When you debate later, that's going to come into play. Michigan. View state funds. So this shows you how much money you could get from each state, which is good. So when you visit states, it sways people to get you to vote for them. So you want to, again, visit the big states because you want to win 270 electoral votes. Choose a state for the appearance. They want you to go to Iowa. Make an appearance in Iowa. So these are the issues that they support: lower taxes, job creation, and securing the border. The only one that you agree with is lowering taxes. So that's the one you're going to choose. And you're going to talk about lowering taxes because that's what they want to hear. Support your position on lower taxes. This is probably the best argument. Citizens know how to spend their money better than the government. Lower taxes. You give a little speech. If they like it, you get support. So now you got momentum in Iowa. So Iowa is redder. The redder it is, the better for you if you're playing as a Republican. Now, if you're playing as a Democrat, you want to see it become more blue. This shows you state momentum. Media, that's advertising. I want you to go to New Hampshire. So we don't have any supported issues together, but we do have opposing. So we're going to kick to pollution standards and run a negative ad. And then this is what your ad looks like. Okay, so now you've officially won the primaries. And you can go on to the national election. So you're going to choose your vice president. It doesn't matter who. I want somebody that could win a big state. So I'm going to go with Jeffrey King. He's popular with business leaders, and he's from Wisconsin, supporting Midwestern state. Democrats normally win. So I'm going to try to flip that being a Republican in this game. The Democrats choose Wade. King, Bielik versus Winters and Wade. And then it showed you the different issues. So there's 10 weeks. Each week is like a round, if you think about it like that, to try to gain support. So they're going to randomize certain states and that we have information about, which is good. So we have information on Texas, Florida, some of the bigger states, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, the ones with the bigger electoral count. So the number of electoral votes you have. So right now it's pretty close, 116 to 115 projected. So the first part you're going to do is fundraise. So you're going to click on fundraising. And you only have information from the big states. So Texas and Florida have the most dollar signs, so I'm going to fundraise in those big states.